I'm happy to be here in Paris. My wife said, well, I envy you to be running around in Paris in the sun. I don't know about that. I'm from Sweden, and even I think it's cold. So you can really imagine, right? So again, my name is Mattias. I'm the business developer for Corsair. So Corsair is a company you might heard of when it comes to gaming, keyboards, headset, and stuff. We have many years in the market. And now and then we buy some companies. And for 8-9 years ago, we bought a company called Elgato. And those guys, you will hear a lot about Elgato today. I am a BDM. I started off to build and develop the business for Corsair on memory. Memory is a big thing in Corsair, right? It's been from the start and it still is. And when that's done, I took over a few more categories. And now I'm trying to develop the Elgato and the Fanatec business, which is sim racing stuff, right? And of course, some of the Corsair business. The reason for I'm building up Elgato is because we're entering a new era, a new business segment that I am not used to, Olivier is not used to, the producers, is the broadcast, the Pro AV stuff that we launched, together with the Streaming Studio, by the way. So I'm going to kick off to do some presentation on the Stream Deck stuff, a little bit, and then you will have the really fun stuff with Harald. I will introduce later on when I'm done. And we start off with all the hardware, which I can, and he will do the software part of the business of Bitfocus, okay? Yeah, you can do, yeah? Yeah. So this is the famous Stream Deck. I hope everyone has one at home, right? Thank God. You can kick off one more, please. So how it all started, it actually started in Germany by the Fest family, which is still the VP of the Elgato in our company called Julian Fest. And the father started off this company. He was watching German TV one night, and it was a German talk show who was pushing buttons on the desk to change the view, to change the camera, to change the clip, right? And he was thinking, oh, wow, I need to do something there that we can use with a PC or with a Mac, whatever it might be. And that's the background of Stream Deck, and this is how it started. So Stream Deck is short, a customizable control panel with LCD buttons, so you can program in every way. What I don't like about it right now, don't tell my boss, is that the word Stream Deck, because it was beginning a product for streamers. All the influencers, the YouTubers, all need to have one together with the ring light and the key light, whatever it might be. So I found out that out to 1 year ago when I was in other trade show in Taiwan, and I spoke to a very known customers of mine in Finland. And I asked them, really, you should have a Stream Deck on your desk because it's the best thing ever. It will increase your workflow. Everything will be better. And his answer was, no, I do not do too much streaming. And I said, okay. So people still think it's only for streamers, right? People think it's only influencers, or YouTubers, whatever it might be. But that's not the case. So you can use it. It have hundreds of apps in the marketplace for free, many of them for free. You can use it to increase your workflow in your job, on your everyday work. I was also in, that was my favorite small power tool. I was a webmaster in one of the e-tailers in Germany. And he got tons of pictures. You have to resize them to fit the homepage. But with power tools, you just click the button and it's actually uploaded and resized the image to fit the homepage straight away, right? So that saves him 10 minutes per picture almost. So that's just a small thing, right? That can be. We have official plugins for Zoom and OBS Studio, of course. You know about OBS, the open source streaming software or recording software. So we have, of course, many different flavors of the Stream Deck. You can see here we have the Stream Deck Plus, we have the 32, and we have the 15 buttons and so on and so forth. That one is actually a Neo, which is more like a consumer part of the business. And we also will retouch the famous the Stream Deck Studio new one. Your new friend, right? Good. We also actually developed a quite new product that's not too many people know about. It's actually called the Stream Deck Scissor Keys. And I think I got one here. What difference is, so it's actually bonus. If you use the laptop sometime, you can see there's more tactile, like gaming keyboard. There's more tactile keyboards like. So this is actually the one you have. So it feels a little bit different, too much. You can pass it around. And that's how so that one will live along with the other one. It's just how you want it, how you feel it, how you want to use it, right? So some likes it, some don't, and so on and so forth. So that's the scissor keys. Yeah, you can move on. Also, we brought on, the whole Stream Deck thing became a huge community. People were building, they were ripping off the, oh, that's yours, sorry. Yeah, they were ripping off this, the case and made their own cases and so on and so forth for control rooms. I was in Germany last week with visiting some of the broadcasters, and they ripped it off and built it into the table and so on. So what we did, we actually don't want customers to do that. So we actually released our own for you system integrators out there. You can build your own cases and we build it into the tables or whatever is needed. So this is one new thing that I did yesterday. So I was Googling around on the internet, and I found this little guy. This is a 3D printed. So I called my friend Sunday morning, and he actually 3D printed this one in 20 hours. So this is one guy sitting home and doing this one for Stream Deck. So you put it under your desk like this, you screw it up, and then you slide it in and put it out and do like this. So I just want to show you there's a huge community out there, and it's totally free, and people are very can do a lot of such things with this. So you can have a look. You can have a look later on if you want. We have a spare time afterwards, right? So no worries. Yeah. Yes, please. We'll also have a virtual Stream Deck coming with a Xenon Edge monitor you see down there. So even if you buy a Stream Deck today, you also have a software called Virtual Stream Deck. So you can build your own Stream Deck on the screen. How many buttons you want is up to you. It can be 4 buttons, it can be 32 or 56 even. So total up to you, and it works on the screen straight off. It's just a new feature we just launched. This is, thank God for AI. So I just wrote for last week, I wrote to AI, I thought it was Copilot. Make some funny example how to use a Stream Deck. So there's one alien guy blowing up the Earth. There's Santa Claus, of course, and a baby ordering milk straight off the grocery store, right? So there are endless opportunities. A lot of people have started to use these guys, the Stream Decks, in the B2B era, in the event, in the broadcast, in the Pro AV. More than we ever knew. So for a couple of weeks ago, we were in an event in Sweden, me and Tarald, and I was speaking to a lot of people. And I didn't even know that every sport, I'm Swedish, I'm a hockey fan, right? Maybe you don't too much know hockey about here, but so every ice hockey arena in Sweden have a Stream Deck where they control the score, who's got the fall and everything. And they're using a certain software. I will speak about that later on. But there's one backdraft because it's USB powered, right? You have to put it on a PC to make it to work. So the first, when we started to work with Bitfocus, the first requirement was you need to find something called a network lock, because all the B2B Stream Decks today are connected in a Raspberry Pi, the small PC, to get it to work. And that is a huge error. It can be a huge error source, and it's also expensive. Even if a Raspberry Pi is cheap, it still take a few, right, to get it to work. So what we developed is actually this one, the network dock. So now you can get your Stream Deck. Oh, sorry. Now you can get your Stream Deck absolutely connected to the network straight away. We have power Ethernet switch, so you don't need any external power, and it speaks directly to any software you use, either Stream Deck software or the Bitfocus software, and it works more or less out of the box. You can put fixed IP or data IP, it doesn't really matter. So it's very flexible. So that is just launched. We started to ship it only for a month ago, I guess, and it's out of stock, and now we got it again. It's a huge, huge product. It's very, very popular. Yep. We also have some more features so I'm just going to go through some of them that may be connected too much to your work. I'm not going to maybe go through the key lights and stuff. This is the XLR dock. Maybe you have your favorite microphone that many musicians do have. You can actually connect the XLR microphone directly to the Stream Deck if you want. Yeah. This is the USB hub that connects directly to the Stream Deck Plus, like this one. So this is my private one. I stole it from myself, from the desk guy back home. I'm using it daily, and it's even 100 watts power delivery. So you can even run a PC if necessary, or charge a PC. Yeah. We also have a prompter, so this is also something we are looking into. You know, this is our first step into the Pro AV stuff. Was of course the Streaming Studio. We also launched the prompters, and this is a small prompter, like a stream for the own streamer, like for the conference meeting or the Zoom meeting, whatever it might be. But just recently, we also launched the prompter XL. That's a big one. Like it should be, can be easily be stated in whatever studio you require, right? So this is a 15-inch AVD industry standard size. It's a removable display. You're easy to move, and so on and so forth. And this is also very, very good sales. We are out of stock right now. We're expecting a few more later on in a couple of weeks. But this was a very, very successful product in the Pro AV business. So please have a look. When you're looking around, you have a customers maybe want to have this, guys. Just look on Elgato's offer. Yeah, and now we come into the Stream Deck Studio. So I'm just touching the hardware. He's the software guy, right? So for many years ago, I'm going to do this brief focus a little bit about Bitfocus. So many years ago, for 7-8 years ago, there was a guy called William, a Norwegian guy, who was working in the event business, right? He was doing all the broadcasting, he was doing events and trade shows, whatever it might be. And he was so fed up that he need to go into every software to control the light in one software, to control the video in software, to control the confetti in one software, and so on and so forth, right? So what he did, he went home and he set himself in the basement and starting to create the open source software called Bitfocus Companion. Have you heard about it? Yeah. So that is William, the Norwegian guy. He sat there and it was a huge success. He shared it with the 2-3 of his friends. That's it. So he thought it's not going to be too much, right? So this is a good story. And it was open source. And then suddenly one day he got a call from US, Australia, US, I guess, from a church. And he said, I like your companion software. You can control the video and audio in the church. So that's really will save some money for me, save some time for me. And can I use it? And I said, it's open source. Be my guest. So how many churches do you have? Yeah, I have 10,000 churches. I said, oh, God. And then it turns out about 50,000 churches. So it was just amazing. So suddenly it just increased in users. And now we have a couple of 100,000 downloads and users all over the world on the Bitfocus companion software. That it became very famous. So we started to work with the Bitfocus for a couple of years ago. And even we brought this Stream Deck Studio product. This is a broadcast Pro AV product. Even if you see in the back, it's actually designed by Elgato and Bitfocus. So have a small look on the hardware. You can, yeah. Oh, move on. Yeah, move on. So yeah, thanks. So on the bottom you have, it's 19-inch, so it fits in every rack. You even have a table rack over there. You can see what Tara is using. 32 customizable keys. Dual function encoders. The knobs, you can see there's also push knobs. And on the front, you have actually a USB-C port. So you can connect any Stream Deck USB, and this one works like the most expensive network dock. So suddenly it ends up on the network, so you don't need a network dock, right? On the back, we have it's fully power Ethernet driven. And it's also, you can also use USB if you want, connect it directly to the PC, but that's not very common, but it's possible, and you can run it with a power source over here. So it's a very, very neat product. It got NFC readers. He will demonstrate it later on, how to control with the NFC with a near frequency control. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. The USB, if we touch that, that's fine. And you can go on the back as well. So you can move on. Okay. So I'm going to leave out to you. This was my small presentation of the hardware itself. What we did right now was that William guy was actually doing the open source. And it turns out that he would like to do the software even better. So for 2 years ago, I think, he sat down and started and make another version called the Bitfocus buttons. And that's why he is here today. He's from Bitfocus. He's a very close friend to the coder, the starter himself for the company. So you can do some introduction, and I leave it to you.
Thank you.